Hi, Shimmy Quakers. So, we're having a virtual festival this year. And since one of the things I was really excited about this year was my vending space that I was creating, which was going to be a wellness booth that you could go to relax for a moment, reset, rest, receive some healing. So, I come to you today with a similar offering, and we're going to do some body stretching, some yoga, some breathing together to get you ready for your day and your experience with Cairo Shimmy Quake Virtual Edition. The first thing I would like to invite is going to be a pose where we lift the legs up. So you'll need to have a space where you can do that. Either put your legs up the wall, or you could put your legs on a chair or on the couch. And if you're in a dance studio or a place where there are no things to put your legs up, or you don't want to put your legs up the wall, you can just lift your knees. So the whole practice is possible just on a non-skid surface like a yoga mat. Get down for my head. And we're going to go ahead and just get into this first pose to begin. So if you're doing just the mat without legs up, you can just leave your knees up. You can widen your feet to the edges of your mat and kiss your knees together. If you are putting your feet up on a chair or wall, you want to get them so that they feel able to totally relax. There's no pressure on the knee joints, and so your booty's not right up against it. It's a little bit back. And then as you drop down to lie down from whichever option, drop your elbows, tuck your chin, and roll down very mindful of your neck. And get your booty in the right spot. So if my legs were up, they would be a little bit away from my hips so that they can rest, but not too far so that there's any stress on the joints. So find the sweet spot. And we're just going to spend a minute or so here breathing and relaxing. So hands by your side, hands on your belly, chin below the forehead. So I like a pillow to help me remember that. And what I do with my blanket is I grab the edges of it. It's already folded in this square. I grab the edges and tuck them in to give me a little lift on the forehead. And the reason for that is the frontal lobe of the brain will relax when you drop the chin just a tiny bit. So here, just try to spread your shoulders out and really allow your body to soften and relax and feel yourself being held. Give yourself a moment to let go. And what a perfect way to begin, as we allow the blood to come back towards the heart by lifting the legs. We focus on the heart. I would like to invite you to soften the muscles surrounding the heart. Soften the hands, soften the face. Take a moment to ask all of the cells of your body to relax and open up. Take a moment to acknowledge that you are, if you are in fact safe. Take a moment to acknowledge that. Let your brain and body know that you are in a safe space, a quiet place, and it's okay to relax. I'd like to invite you to soften your face a little more and notice your breath. Just begin to focus on the breath, noticing what it's like, what it's doing, how it's happening. And if it feels good to you, I invite a centering breath, which is just really deep and maybe with some noise. invite you to lie here a few moments and arrive to yourself. Say hello to yourself, to your body. If thoughts arise, gently bring yourself back to the breath and back to noticing, observing. If you can, this next breath, take a really long inhale. That's really comfortable but long, and then maybe just take in a little more air and then let it out really slow and super long, as elongated as possible. Just a few more like that, really purposefully long. So begin to wiggle your toes and fingers. Maybe wiggle your hips a little bit. You might like to stretch your arms overhead. And I'll invite you to draw your knees into your chest from wherever you had them previously. And you might even go side to side gently and massage the spine a little bit here. And when you're ready, draw your knees to the side, hands to the floor, chin to chest. Let your your neck stay very soft as you press up, press into the earth with your hands, being very mindful of the neck, and find yourself seated in Sukhasana, or easy pose, to begin. Hello. Take a moment. Shake your head a little bit. So for Sukhasana, easy pose, the legs are in front, crossed around the shins. You might like to sit on a blanket right under your sit bones if your knees are feeling cranky in this. And you could also grab your booty and lift it up, lift up your butt cheek, and then put it back down. That will help you get onto your sit bones. And from here, let's have a horse breath. And maybe a little movement with your neck, whatever's feeling right for you. You might like to make small circles. You might like to make a little rainbow or a happy face or a figure eight. The important thing is to take it really slow and feel into it. What does your body need and what feels right for you? And I would like to invite this practice as much as possible today and in your life in general. Asking your body how it feels, what it needs, is beautiful, because it's not always the same as what is being led. So I invite you to be your own guide if my suggestions don't feel right. So from this place, we're going to do something that I love doing every day, every morning. This is how I wake up my spine and how I get my body moving. It's called nose to knee, so literally. So it means we're going to try to bring the nose down to the knee. So I inhale in the center, and again, let's take a moment to get some nice, beautiful, big, long, slow, peaceful breaths going. And you might try keeping your mouth closed on the exhale and sending the breath down into the body as if you're giving it to yourself as a gift. Next exhale, go ahead and bring yourself down to face your knee and drop your nose. Try to bring your nose to your knee. It might not get there, that's okay. When it's time to inhale, draw up from the back of the neck, from the mid-back. This is a a flexing of the spine with each exhale, and drop down, and with each inhale, rolling up. Inhaling in the center, exhaling down. Now, if this doesn't feel good to you, it's not feeling right, you can do it with your legs like this, a little bit easier. I still really love this in the back of the neck, in the back of the body. Inhaling in the center. And when you exhale, be sure that opposite hip doesn't come off of the earth. It's pressing down into the earth, so you get that nice stretch all the way from the neck down to the hips. So taking one more round here, if you please. Nice, beautiful breaths. Long and peaceful. Soften your face. Anytime you feel like opening your mouth, you don't like the pranayama practice of keeping your mouth closed, let it out. Again, choose what feels best for you. So now let's change the way that the legs are crossed. And here we will just take some side stretching. So I'm just going to inhale one of my arms up while the other one is fingertips down on the earth. Nice diagonal line. With the exhale, I'm going to reach across as I let that bottom hand drop down onto the palm. I'm reaching up and over with my hands down with my hip. Getting a nice side body stretch. You can look wherever you feel like looking here. When you're ready to inhale, switch it all up. Rainbow the arms. Exhale. I just love that stretch on the hip. Press that hip down into the earth. We'll do this 3 rounds. So this is the second round. Inhale. Exhale. Woo. Anytime you feel like wooing, you can do that too. Also, last round. Sing a little song. Okay, from here I would like to invite you to open the legs in front of you. Dandasana. Toes are up, knees are down. Again with the sit bones. You want to make sure you're not like this. And if you are, try first lifting your butt cheek. And if that feels kind of like, that's okay. Knees can be up a little bit, but make sure that you're also with your toes up. You could also try a little rolled towel or blankie under your sit bones. See if that helped you. Okay, so from here I'd like to invite you to just place your wrist next to your hips with your toes, your fingers pointing towards your toes. Inhale. Just take your exhale here, pressing the knees gently down, toes up, chin, pull it in just a little bit. A nice right angle we are creating. Inhale. Lift the crown of your head up. With your exhale, hinge from the waist, drop in forward. Move the hands over to rest on your legs. Wherever they land is perfect. If they land on your feet, go ahead and press on your big toenail. Next exhale, drop in a little more. Pull the chin towards the shins like a turtle. Tortuga. Doesn't that light up the hamstring nicely? Just another breath here. Feel the nice, big, expanding back as you inhale. Walk yourself back, rotate the ankles a bit here. And I'm just going to invite you to pick up your legs under the knee, bring the ankle toward the sit bone, and hug your knees into the chest. Just take this moment, a little intestine squish, a little hug, a little nod to the caca. Then I'm going to invite you to open the toes just like a little duck and push on to Malasana. So now the toes are out, the heels are here under the sit bones, and this is such a beautiful moment for the lower leg if you can hang with it. Just find what you need to do. If you need some weight in the front because it doesn't feel good on your feet, but if you can press your heels back, sometimes I put one hand behind. This feels so nice in the calf heel, Achilles heel, and shin, because the body likes compression just as much as stretching, because compression creates space. So once you're all finished with this, I'm just going to invite you to place your hands on the earth and lift your booty up and straighten your toes so that they are pointing forward. And then you're going to be in forward, find yourself in forward fold. Hanging in half, drop your head, and if you can, if it feels all right for you, think about straightening your legs and engaging your thighs here. You might want to hang on for support or hang on to the earth, maybe one of each. And drop down and really stretch. If this doesn't feel safe, you can always lean your booty against a wall to do this. Engaging the thighs here will really stretch your low back, so give it a moment here if you can. Just the thighs, it feels very weird to engage them here, so give it a whirl. Make sure you have balance. You need to hang on somewhere. And it can be great to shake your head here. Yes and no, with no gravity. And then bend your knees and slowly roll yourself on up to standing. Mountain pose. Mountain pose, so simple, yet so much going on, so strong. The toes are pointing forward. I could put a couple of fists down in between my feet here. And it's interesting to look at your knees and see that they're rotated forward, as if you could pretend that you were holding something between them, as if you could pretend that you were ripping apart a piece of paper or a paper towel with your feet. There's a lot going on in the legs here, and I'm going to just let the ribs be beautiful and open and centered, and roll the shoulders up and back. Take a moment to check in with your chin. See that it's no longer being a turtle, but is in alignment now with the body, with the spine. I'm just going to invite you to bring your hands in front and lift them on up with an inhale. Exhale, take it to the side. As you reach across with your hands and palms, reach down with the hip and foot. Inhale to the center, exhale other side. And again. See, we're just waking the body up, saying hello. Drop those arms and continue that movement. Front, lift, inhale. Sides, exhale. So I'm just lifting up and exhaling the side. This time drop your hands down to your shoulders with the thumb in the back and bring the elbows forward, up and back. Keep breathing. I'm just going to let that go. I'm going to open the feet just a little bit, bring my hips side to side, a very familiar movement to a lot of us dancers. And I'll go ahead and make some hip circles here. Circling the joints is a wonderful thing to do for stimulating the synovial fluid production and keeping things running smoothly and fluidly. Other direction, if you please. Hopefully you're feeling good and starting to wake up. All right, back into that mountain pose now, bringing the feet back into to be under the hips. I'm going to invite in a little twist here. Hands coming to prayer. And actually, if you felt like it, you could try a pose where your feet, your toes actually touch. Your toes touch and your hands touch. Samastitihi translates to the two become one. So this is beautiful because it's a really, really strong union pose. The left and right coming together. So from here, and if it doesn't feel okay for you, you can always keep that distance downstairs. So the important thing here is we're going to keep the hips forward as we twist. Inhaling the arms up. I'm going to turn and face the right side, so I'll turn around so it's not confusing. And as I do, I want to make sure that right hip stays forward. Open the hands and exhale, bringing the hands down. Left one's in the front, the right one's in the back. When you get to the bottom, come back to the center, hands in prayer, inhale, bring them up. Pause between the inhale and the exhale, turn and face the left, keep the hips forward, and then drop the arms down the side, exhale. Little waterfall twist. So coming back to the front, we'll do it again. Inhale the arms up. Strong in your legs, very strong in your legs as you turn to the right and drop the arms, keep the hips forward. You should feel a nice beautiful stretch there in the shoulder and arm. Inhale back to the center and up. Soft face, turn left, exhale, hips forward. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, and back to the center. I'm going to invite you to the top of your mat. Give yourself a little bit of space, about 1.5 feet in front of you. And we're going to inhale the arms up the sides, into a prayer pose, and down the center. Draw the hips back with your exhale. Bring the belly into the spine. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Strong legs. Inhale, halfway lift. 90-degree angle with the body. Head forward, hips back. Exhale, hands down. Drop down if you need to. Bend your knees just a little bit. And you're going to inhale and walk the feet back. Nothing too fancy just yet. Exhale, drop your knees. Sit back on your heels. Ha ha ha. So the toes are curled under. Now we're in toe stand. Love this pose, this move. I do it every day. It feels so good on the feet. So I'm just sitting on my toes. This could feel intense. If it does, you could lean forward a little. And if you like it and you want to do your hands, you could also gently hold your fingers down toward the earth and press the heel of your hand forward while keeping the shoulder down. You don't have to multitask if you don't want to either. Always breathing, soft in the face. And when I'm all finished with this, I like to do the reverse stretch for my feet. So if you would like, you could do them both at once by dropping, reaching back, and lifting the knees. If that feels too cranky for your knees, you can always do the feet one at a time, like so. Just place your feet, your toe down, and then bring the foot forward so you're stretching top of the foot. Feels so good. All right, so we're moving through the body. So if you want to sit on your feet now and do a hero's pose for a moment, you could. You could open the heels and nestle your booty right in between. And if that just doesn't feel good, you might try putting the blanket in there for a little added support. You might like it. And if you don't, you could just sit on your booty and do this, because I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to stretch in the hands and the forearms. So let's go now to tabletop. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, feet directly behind you, fingers open, spread wide, equal distance apart, middle finger pointing forward. Bring the navel, front body up to back body. And here, we'll take a cat-cow. Inhale, drop the heart, look forward. Make sure that you're not sinking into the shoulders, but keeping the head and neck free with all the space they could occupy. Exhale, lift the heart, draw the hips in towards the shoulders, look at the belly, press the hands and feet into the earth. Inhale, smell the roses in front of you. Open that booty to the back of the room and drop the heart. Exhale, lift the heart to the sky, hands and feet to the earth. A flexible spine is a flexible mind. Really good to flex the spine, keep the back healthy, keep the mind healthy and active. So if this is feeling like you'd like to take a detour, you can always wiggle this guy. I love cat-cow gets freaky. So you could start circling your hips. You could circle your head. You could move the hips around in this type of circle, which feels wonderful. And one of my other favorites from here, starting out cat-cow the same. Inhale, look forward, drop the heart, open up the booty, blossoming the buttocks, open. And with my exhale, I'm just going to turn and look at my booty. There's something so beautiful about the side body neck stretch in that. I'm kind of trying to bring that shoulder, that hip towards the look a little bit, but you don't even have to. Your hips could just stay steady. It's more of an upper body jam. So now your wrist might be like, hey, so let's take a moment and let your wrists take a break. Sitting back down into child's pose. I like opening the knees and kissing the big toes together here. Dropping into this like so. You can put your cheek on the mat or your forehead. You can reach forward or you could lay on your hands. Take a few breaths here. Letting go. Relaxing the hips, the chest, the face. All right, a few breaths here. Walk yourself back on up to tabletop. And we'll take a few more stretches from this point that I really love. First one being Anahatasana, which is heart to the earth. So I want to make sure the hips are over the knees, and then on an exhale, I'm going to keep my front body nice and tucked into the back body. Everybody's best friends today. And then I'm just going to walk my hands forward, keep the hips here, and try to drop my heart to the earth. 3 breaths here, such a nice stretch in the front body. Oh my goodness. This is a beautiful pose to do if you've overeaten. I always teach this one around Thanksgiving because it's when we tend to overeat. So I'm going to walk myself back very slowly to tabletop. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, bring the hand to the shoulder and then drop it. Rhomboid area here. You could take the left arm and wrap it around your low back if you wanted. Nice soft breath. Try not to force anything. Just notice what feels good. Try to keep your hips in alignment here. You may need this left hand to stay stationed on the earth, and when you come back, you absolutely need it there. And then we'll do the other side. Left arm up, inhale. Bring it, exhale to the shoulder and then thread it through. Walk it like the itsy bitsy spider and then drop into, and the hips might be like, whoa, Just see if you can keep them there. See if you can do it. If it doesn't feel good, if this is just like, heck no, you can always try this guy. This is the same stretch, right? So either way, remember, always you're the boss. I'm the suggester. So whichever route you chose, come on back to tabletop. Take a nice inhale here. Front body is with back body. Curl the toes under. On your exhale, lift the hips up, 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 and back, 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 downward facing dog. So take a moment in your downward facing dog, maybe take some heel pumps. The thing to notice is if it feels like a lot of work. See, this is a lot of work on my arms because I'm moving towards plank where there is a lot of weight there. And then when I push back to downward dog, I should have my hips in the center so that this feels almost like an upside down resting pose. So let's go plank down dog a few times just to feel that difference. So inhale, look at your hands, and then bring your shoulders over your wrists. Inhale. Exhale, lift, up, 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 hips up and back. Downward dog. Inhale, look at the hands, bring yourself, you can curl your pelvis under and undulate into it if you like. Exhale, lift up and back. So you can feel this difference. One more round. Inhale, look at the hands, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now this time we're going to stay, look, and come to plank and stay here for a moment. And then you're going to go ahead and exhale down, keep the elbows in. Now if it feels like a lot, you can always drop your knees and bring yourself all the way down. I'm going to invite you to drop down because we're going to go ahead into a cobra. So don't move your hands because they're in the perfect position right now if they were right under your shoulders. So we're going to do Cobra 3 times. Cobra is all about your back muscles. So if you think about a cobra, they don't have arms. So try to consider being the cobra. We'll keep the arms here on the first one. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Use your back muscles. Keep your legs and booty nice and engaged. And when you're ready to inhale, go ahead and drop back down and drop your hands out to your side. I'm going to go ahead with palms up. Take a breath here. When you're ready to exhale again, go ahead and come on up for another one. Lift the arms. The arms become a part of the body. When you're ready to inhale, go ahead and drop down and take a breath here. I'm going to place the arms on my booty, the hands on my booty. I'm going to actually clasp my hands for the next one. Inhale. Exhale, lift. My hands are pretty soft, letting my back do the work. Inhale, let go. Hands under the shoulders. Exhale, lift. You can go first to tabletop, or you can go curl the toes under and go directly to plank down dog or tabletop down dog. Your choice. Inhale, walk the feet up to the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, you can bend the knees if you like here for nice stability, strong support. Arms all the way up and down the sides. So inhale again here, hands to the center and up. Mountain pose. We're going to take a moment here just to honor mountain pose, which is victory pose with the arms up. Ta-da! So again, just feel the strength in your legs and your feet, in your body, in your soul. Exhale, hands Arms down the side, hips draw back, forward fold, fold in half, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drop down, hands under the shoulders. You may need to bend your knees, that's totally fine. Inhale, walk or jump back into downward facing dog. Now let's take one adjustment here that I always found very helpful in getting this pose. So bend your knees, but don't bring them all the way down. Just hover, and then bring your heart towards your thighs. And then try to straighten from here. That's a really nice way to place it. And you also don't want to push too far and overextend your spine in the other direction. So it's a fun little pose to get comfortable and familiar with. Okay, so we're going to inhale the left leg up. Keep your hips square to the earth. Just send it up as high as you can. Strong in your other leg. Exhale, bring your nose to your knee and hover for a moment. And then drop your foot down into a lunge. And then drop the left knee. Uncurl the back toe or leave it curled to your choice. And come on up to this lunge, this beautiful lunge. And then we're actually going to keep the hands on the earth. I like using fingertips here. I'm going to uncurl my back foot. I'm going to inhale forward, look forward, feel that nice hip flexor stretch. And then I'm going to exhale. I'm going to drop my hips back into a half split and lift the toes on the right. Stretching the hamstring. I'm going to do this 3 times. Here's the second time. Left hip flexor says hello. Exhale, hips back. Toes up. Right hamstring, hello. One more time. Oh. Exhale, drop it back. Okay, come on back to the lunge. Uncurl those back toes. Lift yourself off of the earth. Come on up, arms up, high lunge. Feel it. This is our little moment of work. And then if you would like to reach back and just open up just a little bit, or if you would like to have your hands on your hips, square the hips to your front. Allow them to both drop and be equal. It should feel so good on the back leg, the front leg, all the legs. I like to do at least 3 to 5 breaths here. Maybe draw a little line on the ceiling with your hands or fingers on your last inhale. And then on your exhale, slowly drop back in, drop back down. Hands under the shoulders. And the right foot's going to come back into downward dog. Walk your dog for a moment here. We're just going to go ahead and take the left side, left leg up with your inhale. Hips are square to the earth. Exhale, hover just a moment, nose to knee, and then drop into your lunge. Drop the back knee. The front leg should be knee over ankle. I'm inhaling, looking forward. Hip flexor says hello. Look back at that back foot and make sure it's not sideways or wonky. It should be straight back. Exhale back, draw the hips back, lift the toes on the left foot, and drop yourself into a stretch here, half split. Right? Because if you look at this, this is like you're about to go into the splits. Boop. All right, inhale right here. Check that foot. And exhale back. We do this one more time. Exhale back. Come on back to your inhale. Uncurl the back toes. Feel nice and strong here. The key is pull your knees apart, your thighs together. So lots of strength as you come up. Lots of belly strength. I didn't say we weren't going to work at all. I just said it was going to be pretty chill. So this just feels absolutely ridiculous and you're not feeling it. You can always touch the wall with one of your hands or drop your heel into the center and turn it into a warrior one. I chose high lunge today because we weren't working too much, and this one feels like a good amount of lighting my body up in the morning. And one time I was studying a type of yoga called forest yoga. They teach that this pose releases fear, so I really like that. So I always try to channel my inner goddess, warrior, lady, fearless. Okay, so everybody, fearless, arms up. Draw that line on the ceiling for your final moment here. Inhale. Exhale, peel down, hands down. Come into your downward facing dog. And inhale and bring yourself into hovering tabletop. So don't quite drop your knees. We'll just do 3 breaths here just to light up the solar plexus and the belly a little bit more. And then we'll drop down, cross the shins, drop your booty down, and voila, we sit on the booty. Hope you're feeling well. It's time to rest. It's time to bring some balance. So this is another practice I do every day and I really love, and it's so very simple. It's called spine rolling. And it really is a beautiful practice on your spine. It feels so, so good. Of course, if you are foam rolling, you're kind of doing it anyway. So here is how we will get down to resting. So I'm going to grab the knees, tuck the chin, take a nice inhale. On my exhale, I'm going to drop back. Inhale, come up, tap your toes, keep your chin tucked. Exhale, roll back, that's it. So I'm just rolling, do. And you'll notice this is a little bit lower on the back. If you want to go higher, you could put your hands under your knees and that will send your body higher, putting more weight on that side that's not being held. And if you wanted to go cray-cray, you could cross your shins and grab your toes. Keep your chin tucked, protect your neck. This is always a fun little place to play as well. Call it the spider moment when you're sort of like a spider on your back or a baby. Which brings me to happy baby. So bringing your feet right in front of your face. And then take your hands to the outsides of your feet. Keep them tucked in as much as you can and bring your knees down toward your armpits. Have a nice stretch here. And if you like to rotate your ankles a little bit. And then we're going to settle into resting. You might like to take your blanket if you had one. And even if you didn't, you can just take your yoga mat and roll it a couple times and sort of place it under your head, or bring it all the way back and place it under your neck. And then place another little bit. I keep 2 yoga mats because I like the extra cushion. And also just lying flat is super perfect for this. And when you're bringing your body into rest, into Shavasana, it's nice to really stretch out. So I invite you to take your legs one at a time and lift a couple inches off the ground and press and reach down and see if you can just make yourself a little taller. And then take your shoulders and lift them up toward the ceiling and open them and drop them back down, and let your arms fall to your side, palms up. Check in with your chin, see that it's in alignment, just a teeny bit below your forehead. And let the earth hold you. Feel yourself being held, letting go. And you're beginning with the breath, softening and slowing down, observing the breath, observing the body, scanning the body for any place that could use an invitation to soften. Feel your skin drape over your skeleton, muscles pulling away from the bones, oh so gently to relax, to lay back. And if thoughts arise, you can bring yourself back to the breath, observing the breath. A nice soft inhale, a nice long, slow exhale. Soften in the face, the scalp, and the neck and shoulders. Soften the hands, the feet, and the legs and arms, having their own experience like little ships sailing away from the dock of your body. The knees, the hips. Soften your booty, your belly, and all the muscles in the back and behind the heart. Be held. Just breathing and being with your body, your breath. And you can bring yourself into the third eye, the space between the eyebrows, as if it were a curtain that you could step through into a timeless, weightless dimension. And just being you is perfect. And just be here now with your breath. Reminding the body that it is safe. And there is an invitation to surrender. Allow yourself this time to rejuvenate. slowly become aware of your breath and your body. And before you move, notice how you feel. And you might like to first begin by taking a deeper breath. Noticing the rise and fall of the chest, the expansion of the body with the inhale. Notice the air around you, touching your skin, entering and exiting your body. And start by discovering the fingertips with the thumb, wiggling the toes, perhaps lifting the eyebrows, noticing the scalp and face. And you might like to lift your knees to your chest or slowly roll to your side for a moment. And before you get up and begin your day, take a moment to send a message of love to your body, to yourself. And when you are ready to rise, I invite you to reach from a side lying position over and place your hands down on the earth and press into the earth as you rise with a soft neck. And meet me back on your mat in a seated position. Love those chimes. I like to close my practice by rubbing the hands and feet together, stimulate the nerve endings. And I'll drop the hands to the heart and bow the head. Bow to the heart and to the gut, to the body. I honor you. The light in me honors the light in you. I see you. Namaste. I hope you have a beautiful day out there, everyone, and may we dance together soon. Bye for now.